So this is a Bailey Unicorn Cabrera. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got the jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate this to you in person here on site. We'll also explain the ATC when we hook up to the car. Side of the Caravan, you've got your wind down legs on either side at the front to stabilise the Caravan. They are just literally there for stabilising. You would not lift the Caravan with these wind down legs, as it can potentially damage the floor of the Caravan. Coming down the side of the van, you have your water pump connection. Water pump very simply pushes into the side of the van, and you can lock it in place with the cap here, and to release it you pop that up and pull the water pump out. You've then got your Aldi heating and hot water flow. That is very simply there to allow the heating and hot water system to breathe. You would not cover this up when it's in operation. It does get particularly hot, and again I would be careful of the temperature that comes out of there when you are near it, especially if you've got young ones. Side locker, you've got your gas bottle in the side of the van with your gas regulator on the side of the van and your gas pipe work coming down to the bottle. The pipe work that goes into the bottle is a reverse throw fitment, and on top of the bottle you've got gas open and gas valve open. Gas valve open is essentially gas on, and gas valve closed is gas off. Motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll demonstrate the motor mover to you here on site so you can see that it's working correctly, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting. Side of the van here, open up this tank here with the keys for the Caravan, and you'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid for the toilet to flush. You do need to keep an eye on the level of that. And then down the side of the van you've got your waste tank itself for the toilet waste. You'll release it by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away, and the cap here is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. On the back of the cassette you've got an orange button, which is a pressure relief button, so you'll press that button in, so when you are tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. In the cassette you'll put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. Again, on the back of the Caravan on either side you've got a wind down leg to stabilise the Caravan. They are only there for stabilising, like I said, not lifting. You then got your 2 fridge vents on the side of the Caravan, as you can see. They are there to allow all the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. And also, behind one of those there is a gas flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. Down the side of the van, you've got 3-pin sockets so you can have power coming out to your awning. And down the bottom you've got an aerial connection so you can have a direct satellite connection from the site you're on to the Caravan. Underbed storage, under seat storage area at the front of the Caravan. Mains power lead in on the side of the van also. And at the front of the Caravan on the side you have your barbecue gas point. You put your gas fitment into place and then you turn the gas valve 90 degrees to turn the gas supply on. Going inside of the Caravan now. Very simple to use Caravan. To the right hand side of the door as you walk in, you've got your master power switch for the van, so you've got power on and off here. Water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. You've then got your interior lights and your awning light off the outside of the Caravan. You've got various light switches as you go around the Caravan to turn the lights off individually. The first thing you're going to need to do is check to make sure you've got all the power turned on. So underneath the fridge you'll find a little cabinet which should have in there your mains trip switches. Now what I'd advise you do is just come in here before you turn anything on. If you press the blue button with the power connected and the trip switch trips down as it has just done, that means you have got power coming into the Caravan. If that is on, if that is up, that switch, and you hit the test button and it doesn't trip down, it means there is no power coming from the site you're on into the Caravan. Below that you have your 12 volt fuses for the 12 volt systems on board the van, and each of those fuses marked at the bottom to tell you what the fuses are for, and each fuse will also be described to you in the manuals for the Caravan. The next thing you're going to do is, once you've got your mains power all turned on, you're going to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the Caravan, and you're going to make sure that you have your yellow valve, drain down valve in the correct position. So down the back of the hot water tank, underneath the seat, just to the left hand side of the sink, you'll find this grey water tank, and down the back of it you'll find this yellow valve. That yellow valve, to fill the water system, needs to be parallel with the floor. If that valve is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, all of the water on board the Caravan will drain straight out onto the floor underneath of the van. So like I said, parallel with the floor before you fill the water system up. Once you've got that valve parallel with the floor, you can come over to all the taps on board the Caravan. Sorry about the crinkling noise under my feet, it's the mats we've got down to protect the floor. Open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system, as you can see. Open them completely on the hot side. And with the aqua roll connected on the outside, you can come over to the control panel by the door. Press the water pump switch to on and the yellow light will appear. When that is running the way it should be, the water system will then start filling up. And when that water system is full, you'll have water coming out of every tap on board the Caravan, as you can see here. Once the water system is full and it's all running out the taps without spitting and splattering, you can then turn the water back off, and then you can start thinking about warming the water on board the Caravan. So on this control panel that's just to the left of the sink behind it, you have a power switch, bottom left hand side, for turning the power on and off for the control panel. I'm just going to turn it off first, and turn it back on. When it loads up, I'll explain to you what you've got on the screen. Top right hand corner, it indicates to me we've got mains power coming into the Caravan. Below that, we've got the current internal room temperature of the Caravan. Hit the menu button and it will take you into your options for your heating and hot water. The top one here is your room temperature. So you've got plus or minus to set the internal room temperature of the Caravan. 5 is essentially off at the bottom here. Just below that, you've got your hot water. So you've got hot water on when this bar's halfway up. Now if I press the button again, we've got hot water boost for when you're showering on board the Caravan. So you would need to have it on boost while you're showering. And if you just want the water on so it keeps warm, you'd have it halfway up as we've got it now. Below that, you have the amount of power you want the heating and hot water to run from. So depending on what Caravan site you're on, you may either have 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts available. Here on site we can only run 1 kilowatt through the heating system, so that's why we have it set to 1. On some sites, like I said, you may have the full 3 kilowatts available, and we would advise that you run it from that so it is the most efficient that it can be. You can also run the heating and hot water systems on gas, and that is very simple to do. If the gas is turned on in the side locker, you can press the gas button and the gas system will self-ignite. If it fails to ignite, you'll get 2 exclamation marks at the end of the screen with gas failed coming along the bottom of the screen. On the right hand side here, we have some advanced options, which for these we do advise you read the manual that comes with the Caravan. The reason being, if I tried to explain in the video, it'd probably take me around 2 to 3 hours to complete. Cooker hob and grill all works very much the same as your household appliances. The electric ring that you have on the hob will only work when you have mains power connected to the Caravan. It will not work off the 12-volt power sources. When you do have the hob running, you do need to make sure that the hob lid is completely open by pushing it back when you've got it up. Because if it is shut at all, so like sort of halfway down as it is now, the gas supply will not go through to the oven or grill. Microwave again will only work on the 240 mains power, and you do need to make sure that you remove the microwave plate from inside, as you can see here, while you're travelling. Next up, we're going to go to the fridge. Again, the fridge is very simple to use. If you're on a mains powered site, you very simply spin the dial to the plug symbol here, and the fridge will start cooling down on mains power. You can then control the temperature of the fridge on this dial on the right hand side, and the thicker the line is, the colder the fridge will be. When you're towing down the road, you can use the fridge as a cool box, so a bit like one of them plug-in electric cool boxes that you get in your car. When the car's connected at the front of the Caravan, you can come inside the van. You don't have to have any control panel on up here, this can all be turned off. Come to the fridge and select your 12-volt mode. Like I said, what it'll do is it'll turn the fridge into a cool box. It won't completely freeze the freezer compartment or completely chill the fridge, but it will just operate as that cool box while you are travelling. If you want to run the fridge on gas, if you're off grid for instance, you can spin the dial to the bottom here to the gas symbol, press in the temperature valve and hit the igniter at the same time. Once the fridge is ignited on gas, this little red line that you see here will come round into the green, and that is essentially your pilot light. Once that little red line is in the green, you continue to hold the gas valve in for 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve and you'll be able to control the temperature of the fridge on gas on the dial on the right hand side here. To turn the fridge off, you'll spin it all the way back to the top here, and that'll be the fridge off. Going through into the bedroom, and then I'm going to do the last bit, which is the toilet area. The bed itself lifts up so you can access the storage underneath, and also underneath there you have the table for the Caravan. In the bathroom you have the radiators. The radiators do hold their heat for quite a long time, so please be aware of that when you're using the Caravan. The toilet, you fill the flush tank from the outside as we've described. To flush the toilet you use the blue flush button just here. You have a red indicator light here to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. If that illuminates, you will need to empty the cassette. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see here. However, when you're removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you do need to make sure it's pointing straight forward, as it is now. So it allows you to remove the cassette from underneath. It'll actually lock the cassette in place if it is turned at all. Below the toilet, you have your grey waste handle. Push the flap open below the loo. Below the toilet bowl, and that will allow the toilet waste into the cassette under the van. We do advise when you're not using it to shut the flap back off so that there's no smells that come back up inside the Caravan itself. So that is the Bailey Unicorn Cabrera. If you have any further questions on the Caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your Caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.